the system, benefits.
What do you mean, welfare?
Welfare, the patriarch dissolution that you just mentioned.
That's because of the feminist movement, brother.
Okay.
The feminist movement. All of those lesbians back in the day, Gloria Steinem, Black Panther woman that teaches at Stanford University, they were lesbians. The Black Panther Party was a communist organization that was funded by the Rockefellers. That's the number one thing. So I mean, you got to understand, I came back to the world from the jungle when the Haight-Ashbury, the hippies, I hate to use that cliche, hated the government, everything about the government. They hated Nixon. They wanted to stop that war over there in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And the feminist movement has killed it. And these women walking around here, they're not being taught by their mothers to be wives.
To kind of reflect on your work, you know, because I love to kind of get some records, set some things straight.
Right. So I mean, you got to understand, I came back to the world from the jungle when the Haight-Ashbury, the hippies, I hate to use that cliche, hated the government, everything about the government. They hated Nixon. They wanted to stop that war over there in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And the feminist movement has killed it. And these women walking around.
You feel that you've been respected by the industry as a whole when you look at the work that you've done?
Absolutely, because I'm still there. Do you know how many shows have been? We shot the pilot of Sanford and Son in 1971, and it's September, October 71.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Wakar Kodash. I want to say double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, the 144,000, the elect. All right? I'm the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick lesson. And I'm entitled this lesson Words from Desmond Wilson. All right? If your brothers are familiar with this man, he played Lamont on a hit show, Sanford and Son. All right? And, you know, he's known for being very vocal about particular topics. You know, he's a man that claims that, you know, he had a spiritual awakening and experience. But, you know, some of the stuff he says is true, but, you know, he don't got the whole 100% truth, you know. But one thing that I found interesting, and I played it, is how he talked about how feminism destroyed the family structure in America, and how it was spurred on through entertainment. And he had spoke. I was trying to rewind it to the portion when he spoke about Norman Lear, and he was basically saying that Norman Lear was the reason, you know, shows like All in the Family and different shows. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can find it. So this is the portion that I was trying to find right here, where again he spoke about Norman Lear. You know, wherever there's wickedness and evil in this world, you could be sure that Esau is not more than a step behind, because he's the purveyor of that. All right, real quick. This is the book of Malachi 1. All right, and I'll go straight to the point. It says yep, Salakia, Malachi 1 and 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai have indignation forever. In the NLT it says, Esau's descendants, which are these people that are here today, call themselves so-called white, so-called Jews, all right? Esau's descendants in Edom may say, we have been shattered, but we will rebuild the ruins. But the Lord of heaven's armies replies, they may try to rebuild, but I will demolish them again. Their country will be known as the land of wickedness, and their people will be called the people with whom the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is forever angry. So the Heavenly Father is angry with you Edomites forever. All right, and no matter what you build, the Lord's going to destroy it, like He's going to destroy America. So wherever wickedness is, wherever it starts and stops, you're always going to find an Edomite there. Okay, and I want you to listen to some of the words that this man say, man, because he was on point. Norman Lear was a liar, a thief. He was just wicked. All right, but yet he was held as a man that knew black people better than black people themselves, man. How did he get all this? We know that he stole a lot of the ideas for these hit television shows, such as Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, What's Happening, lots of different shows, man. This man stole from a particular black writer, because Norman Lear didn't have no particular insight on the so-called Negro in America, but yet he himself would say that the way he learned about black Americans was you could hear any of that language on any playground in America, and that's a lie. Norman Lear was set up to destroy the family structure, particularly that of the so-called Negro in America, man.
Around the world, I do interviews. They called me up about Norman Lear last week.
Right.
And I set the record straight on that, because that was a crock. And I don't stand behind anything false.
What was the main point you were trying to make clear about Norman Lear, that he wasn't involved with Sanford and Son as much he was given credit for? Was that
the main thing was what a lot of people missed. I said, when my agent called me and said, watch the show, I said, I don't want to do television, as I said. And I watched the show. I came away thinking, this is the beginning of the dissolution of the patriarchal system. And on the heels of that, the announcer tried to cut me off. I said, let me finish. Because on the heels of that came Married with Children. And then all of a sudden, parents became idiots and kids became all-knowing. Young women started calling their mother B-I-T-C-H word and rebelling. And it all started Norman Lear. They asked me what I said. I will say this about him. He was a visionary.
right?
But then when I heard about his political affiliations, it all fell into place, and I knew I was right on the money. I said it went on and on and on, ad infinitum, and what we're experiencing now is the evolution of what Norman Lear started with All in the Family. And nobody got it. They missed it totally. They said, oh, Devon's talking about Norman didn't have... I said, you people have been so dumbed down, like Malcolm said. Some of us, we're going to have to leave behind. You're too...
Yeah, and that's why 2/3 are going to get left behind, because they believe in this world. They believe Esau is their friend. He could be changed. This man could be given an opportunity to make it. No, Esau is done. All right, he's in his heaven. His heaven is coming to an end. And when we come into power, this man, he's going into captivity. Real quick, let me see if I can get this real quick. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So Esau is about to lose his kingdom, and it's going to be transferred to us, the Israelites. Okay? Not the Hamites, not the Moabites, but us, the Israelites. This is the book of 2 Esdras 6 and 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we're the beginning of it that follow. We're Jacob. All right? And because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and got injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is going to be translated from the Edomites to the Israelites, man. The true Israelites, the true people of the Lord, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. And like this man said, Norman Lear was, he was one of those heads that was behind the disillusion of the patriarchy. Get rid of the man. Make the man simple. Make the man dumb. Make the man useless, unless he's bringing some financial support, right? Make his end and all, his beginning and all revolve around money, right? Things that you knew that the so-called Negro didn't have a lot of back then, And so here it is, this man, he is behind destroying the patriarchy of the so-called Negro, particularly because we're the ones got hit the hardest. Esau, he doesn't care either way, But we as the Israelite men, we were taken out of the homes via social systems and programs and via broken homes and relationships. And that's why you got mostly broken homes after the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and even to today. You know, this man's a devil, bro. And listen to the words of Desmond Wilson, man.
Brainwashed to understand. That was the important thing I said about it. And they don't even know that. You know, you got this whole feminist movement out here. I don't need no man. I don't need no man. No, but your kids do. Your children do. A broken home. No, that was the important thing I said about it. And they don't even know that. You know, you got this whole feminist movement out here. I don't need no man. I don't need no man. No, but your kids do. Your children do. A broken home. No,
and that's right. And who swallowed that pill? The so-called black woman. You so-called black American, African-American women, you swallowed that pill wholeheartedly, that big-ass horse pill. You swallowed it and drink it down with some Jesus juice. You know, and who's the number one person on this planet talking about they don't need no man? You know? And then you see what we have, a bunch of confusion in the so-called Negro families, and the so-called Latino family, the so-called Native American family. You're the biggest purveyors of feminism. And you're the biggest supporters of feminism. And like he said, the majority of those feminists were lesbians, women that didn't even like men. Just like the Black Lives Matter movement. Those women that started that movement were all lesbians, man. And you trying to tell me a lesbian thinking more of a man than a woman that's straight, supposedly? And now the vast majority of the so-called black women are lesbians, man. They half-time, they part-time lesbians, all the way lesbians, full-time lesbians, you know? And now you got a gender war going on. These women talking about if you can't provide them with hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, they don't even want to deal with you, man. If you can't support their life of luxury and pleasure, they don't even want to deal with you, man. And where does that come from? Esau Edom. Through his music, through his entertainment, you know, constantly making a man a simpleton. You know, back in the day, the man was the voice of consciousness. He was the voice of counselship. He was the voice of wisdom and understanding. But like the scripture says in the book of Jeremiah, right? Let me get that real quick. Jeremiah 31:22. All right, because this is a judgment for us. How long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Shah have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Yep. It says, how long will you wander, my wayward daughter? For the Lord will cause something new to happen. Israel will embrace. Well, this is going off. But yeah, a woman shall compass a man. And that's what these women have done. They have compassed men via feminism, you know, via the destruction of the patriarchal system. And you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to Lamont. Listen to Desmond Wilson. And Stella says, shalom, on to the next.